Hello.
Hey, hey, hey.
How are you, darling?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I got my
I was
beautiful
about to say I
sweater on
love your
for
I
you.
love your sweatshirt.
Thank you. I
Mad
wonder where I
cute.
got it.
Mad cute.
So, how does it feel being on Project Runway?
Um Honestly, like it's so many things at one time. Like, you know, the crazier part, I guess, the crazier part about it is like we've already experienced this, like we've already lived it. So now everyone else is like getting a chance to like live the moment and see like what we were doing and everything. And so like it's just interesting to relive it, I guess, with everybody else. So it was
I
an
can
amazing
imagine.
experience, but now it's just like kind of a recap, I guess, for
And
me.
then see all the edits that they make too. I know
Yeah.
that's a big thing.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing, honestly. That's the biggest thing.
So, is this the first time that you've ever tried out for Project Runway, or have you tried out for it before?
Yeah, this is my first time. Actually, two friends of mine sent it to me separately, and I was just like, all right, I guess this is something that I need to do. And the second friend sent it like literally the night before the application was due. So I was up until like 6 in the morning, like finishing the application, finishing the video, and then when I woke up the next morning, I had a phone call. So it was
That's
really awesome.
that's incredible. That like
Yeah.
I've seen people in the chat before watching you say they've tried like 6 times. So that's incredible.
Yeah,
Oh my
like it was
gosh.
just like, everybody's timing is your timing, and um before, like if I had applied or auditioned, like it probably wouldn't have, it probably would have been me again, like re-auditioning and re-auditioning. But, once you kind of this was kind of like it felt like it was kind of planned out. I moved back to New York and just like was like, all right, I'm only sticking to fashion from like here until, something hits, and then it
Yeah.
just like happened. So it's
That's
all in
because
the
you were
timing.
a
It's all
dancer
in the timing.
before, right? You
Yeah,
danced
yeah,
with a
yeah,
lot of celebrities. Oh my God. Mariah Carey, Jennifer Lopez. Oh my God. The list
yeah.
goes on. How did it feel dancing with celebrities?
Honestly, like it's for my first time actually was with, I don't know if you know Crystal Waters, but
Yes, I've heard
she
of her.
has that
Yes.
song like 100% and Gypsy Woman, and
Yes.
so like that was the first artist that I ever danced for, and it was in Atlantic City for like some weird party in Atlantic City. um and so that was like the intro, I guess, into doing this whole thing. But then you see so many of your friends doing it that it kind of becomes like a norm. So by the time I got to like those bigger people, it was just like, all right, this is what we do. This is my job, and I'm supposed to be here.
Now, did you like get to hang out with them and all of that after the shows and all that?
Not really. Like some people kind of, will do like a little thing with the
Yeah.
dancers afterwards, but then most don't really. They're tired, they're ready to go home, and we're all ready to
Yeah.
go.
Go to bed.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, you also did Broadway. What do you think is harder, Broadway or Project Runway?
Oof. They kind of, I wouldn't really be able to compare them, honestly, because so with Broadway or like a live show, what's going down is like everybody's attention is all at like one moment, So like
Yeah.
everyone's kind of focused on like one centralized thing, and then like you're moving from there. But with Project Runway, it was really different in that everybody's all focused on one moment, but that moment is different for everyone,
Yeah. True,
it's
true.
it's so different. It's just very different. It's a different way of
Different
working.
nerves
Yeah, it's
kind of
different
thing.
nerves. It's a different way of working. Like, on Broadway or like live shows, you're not doing like, it's not a competition. And so you're not like focused on this like competition aspect.
Yeah.
Um, but I guess like even with Project Runway, like you're in the competition, but I wasn't really, I guess, like, oh my God, this person's my competition and this person, but
Yeah,
it
because you
is
make
different.
friends. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the weird part about it too. Like you're making friends as you're like, all right, somebody's got to go home, and it's not gonna be me. So who's gonna leave?
Right. I have so How did you feel about episode 1? Did you enjoy working in groups the first like challenge? Or did you
Um,
wish that you could have done it separately the first challenge?
it's I don't know, like after having it this way, I don't see it being any other way, you know? Like I really enjoyed the group challenge. I enjoyed like coming together as a team first because it kind of took, it kind of takes some of the pressure off, I guess, and like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's solo. But like you get together with this team and like you create this story and like it was great. Like I enjoyed being in the team. Of course, there's aspects of it where you're like, I wish I could just, do this on my own, just show what I want to show and like not
Yep.
have to stick to a thing. But yeah, it was great. I enjoyed it.
Now, if Darren did not say that you created the dress, would you have said something?
Yeah,
We all saw your face.
yeah, at some point,
I was
like
cringing for you.
I would have had to say something because, like, it's just like I think if it would have gotten to the point too of like winning, I don't know at what point like I would have been like, hey, actually that was mine. But in the edit, the edit is a certain way, but there were questions to me because my face kind of tells it all. Like my mouth wasn't saying anything, but my face was like reading everything. So people definitely had questions, but I feel that if he would have made it to the point of like, okay, this could be the winner, then I definitely would have had to be like,
no, I'm the winner. I made it. So this past week you won with Anna, which I was a figure skater for 18 years. So I knew who Johnny Ware and Tara Lipinski were. So I was excited for you. Are you excited to see your outfit be worn in the Olympics?
I am like, I think honestly, like this is bigger than winning the first challenge. Like the first challenge was amazing. Like it was incredible. You get the like adrenaline of it and like the excitement of immunity. And then second challenge, like the immunity wasn't even useful, but wasn't even useful. But yeah, like this is a really big win. Like it's really amazing. It's like a 70 million, viewers are going to be watching, and Johnny and Tara are like huge in their industry, and also Johnny is really big on fashion anyway, and he's kind of a fashion icon in his own realm. Actually in any realm, honestly, I feel like if you bring up his name, like someone would know who he is.
He goes all out with his fashion.
Yeah. And so like that's just really, it's really incredible to have him wearing my stuff, and that just to see this moment, and like again another thing that my grandparents can look at and be like, oh my gosh.
I know. I'm so excited for you. I'm definitely going to be watching because I watch the Olympics figure skating anyways, but I'll be watching and snapping photos and Instagramming that for sure. Were you happy that you got chosen with Anna this week?
Yeah.
I know that's your wife. I mean, I'm jealous, but
yeah, like I love Anna. She, she's an incredible designer, incredible like technician. I'm very big. Well, I wouldn't say very beginner, but like in certain aspects of technicalities of how to do things, like I am still learning certain things. So it was great to be paired with her for both things. Like she has a great personality, and I was learning like as we were working. You saw like that was my first time drafting a pair of pants on a mannequin, so I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but like it's gonna hopefully it comes out nice,
I don't know how she did it with all that beading for that fabric. That's hard to sew, I would think.
Well, that's the thing is they didn't really show this process, and technically we're not really supposed to be talking about stuff that isn't shown, but you see her doing it. She hand stitched that whole dress. That whole dress was not like you couldn't run it through the machine. The outer layer, the outer layer was done by hand, and the under slip was the sewing machine, because that fabric, like if you stretch it out, it's like it's a design of beading already, so you can't just like stitch over top of it with the sewing machine. It'll ruin the beads completely.
Yeah. Yep. Before you got on Project Runway, were there any other people you like contestant wise that you admired too?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I didn't really like watch all the seasons of Project Runway. I kind of got lost somewhere in the middle.
Me
But
too.
like first couple of seasons, you know, like Karasan, huge inspiration for me. Obviously, Christian, huge inspiration for me.
Oh my gosh.
Santino, huge inspiration for me. Like I love like all those early kind of people, you know.
Yeah.
Even Nick, huge inspiration. That those early crew, like those were like my like, oh my God, like I want to do this.
I can't believe Christian's a mentor. Like,
yeah.
That's amazing. He was my favorite back in that season.
Yeah.
And I love Jenny Rachi. She's actually,
Mhm.
I think she might be in New York now. She went to
Not
LA
too
and
sure.
then she's back in New York. She was season 15. So.
Okay.
Now, would you rather have Tim Gunn or Christian?
Ooh, that's tough.
I mean, I miss Tim Gunn, even though I love
will
Christian.
say that I do miss Tim Gunn. Like I miss his like, you know, they both have their isms and like the things that they do and the things that they say. But I love Tim's opinion. Obviously, like I love Christian's opinion as well. But there's something about like the OG experience of the show, like to have Tim there is like, you know, it feels like wow, this is at home.
Right?
You know, with Christian, obviously it feels like, you know, it feels like at home too. But with Tim, it's like wow, this is like my love. I love Tim.
Oh my gosh, I would love if Tim just showed up for one episode. That would
Oh my gosh, it'd be amazing.
I can only dream. I can only dream. You never know, right? Now, I know you discussed it on IG, but it's been a pretty hot topic even on Twitter. I know here, the floral challenge. Do you think Chantal should have won with having very minimal floral as her design?
You know, this topic, you know, watching it back is always a crazy experience. But then when you're really like, when there's moments like this that have happened, you're like, wait, what? Like, what? Like the design was beautiful. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
And I've told Chantal this, the design was incredible, but I don't think that it deserved to win for a floral challenge. Like it wasn't a floral print. The challenge was to create a floral print. If we could have just, you know, gone out on a whim and done anything, then it would have been that. It wasn't this.
And I know they say like they want you to have an experience and give everything you have and try new things. That was a pattern she had kind of already created.
Yeah, and you know that's also kind of where I guess like the rules and the regulations of it all got blurry is none of us can remember if they said like it has to be a new print or it has to be, you know, something that you've thought of now, but like she ripped off of herself. So like we can't argue about that part. It was a beautiful print, but you know, other people were literally like we're all sitting there thinking of prints and we're thinking of like something fresh, something fully
and taking photos of the flowers.
Yeah, taking photos, you know, and mind you, this whole experience, taking the photos, realizing what flower you want to use, talking to Lewis, talking to the graphic designer, all of that was done in 1 hour. I'm not gonna say like how much was which and et cetera, but all of that was done in an hour. So you have to think like there are people like myself who I've never used this. I've never made a print before. So to have this as my first time, it was like, you know, I was kind of freaking out.
Scramble,
kind of freaking out. But at the same time, you know, it's a competition. So like I can't say whose way is right, whose way is wrong. If you choose to pull this out of your bag at this moment, then like have at it, you know, but just like be able to stick up for it when it's time to stick up for it or take the win when it's time to take the win. And she took the win. So like, I still want to talk to the judges about that though. I'm like, I got questions.
I loved your floral print. I told you that when I talked to you on IG. That's one of my favorite flowers. is that a pattern now? Since you made the pattern,
Mm-hmm.
can you use that pattern now if you'd like?
So I could use that pattern, but there's like some logistics that goes to it. I could recreate the pattern in a different way that, you know, tweaks it, and then I'm completely free. But if it's that same exact pattern, there's like some, you know, some protocol that has to go
I'd
first.
retweak it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful. Try
I'm probably gonna retweak it because like that's the thing is I had this like beautiful silhouette in mind. Like I had this, well, it's nothing that was really new, honestly. It's just the way that I wanted to accentuate Dariana's body. She's a curvy girl and she's a grown woman, and I wanted to make her feel and look like that. And what I had in mind was kind of just something I haven't seen anyone do on a curvy girl, especially on this show. No one gives a crop top, you know, and people are usually just like, oh, I don't want to, you know, it's like, no, they wear clothes just like everyone else wears clothes. Like nothing's different about it. Accentuate the body, make her look great, and send her on the runway.
With that high-waisted skirt was beautiful.
Yeah, like I wanted this like high-waisted skirt that was just going to drop to the ground. It was going to be really full. And I saw her kind of like she's an actress anyway in real life. So I kind of play on that and was just like, all right, let's make you an actress at the Cannes Festival. Like you're going for the first time, and like this is what you would wear. So I had this beautiful silhouette in mind for her. But then Christian came over with his critiques and just like completely derailed everything that I was thinking about. And then coming from the previous challenge, like I'm like, oh, that was the first time that I would say that I felt frazzled in the competition. Like that was the first time that I felt like, what, like I'm usually very sure of myself. I'm usually like very like, all right, this is what I'm doing, this is where we're going. But once he came over after that, you saw me on the other side, like when he was doing, I think Aaron's critique. I think Aaron was sitting in front of me or working in front of me, and you can see me in the background like I had already changed my design. It was like I had taken the skirt and put it up on the shoulders and was just like trying stuff. But I do want to recreate that silhouette because I think it was going to be really beautiful.
I think you should. I think it'll be beautiful.
Yeah, and also
so I would have worn something like that.
And that's what I keep getting. Like it looks, because she looked great. She looked incredible. Do I wish that I could have like taken the floral print down? Yes, I do, and I tried that with some different things like adding patches of it on the bottom of the skirt and stuff, and nothing, just it didn't work. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel luxe. It didn't feel expensive. So I was like, just trash it. But that full skirt was gonna be really beautiful. It was gonna be really beautiful. So
I can't wait to see it.
I'm gonna do it again just for you. I'm gonna do it again.
Sounds good. Now I have a friend that does Project Runway recaps. You already answered one of his questions. He gave me two. He said, "Do you agree with who's gone home so far?"
Who? Okay, actually, I really think that Meg should have gone home the first challenge. I feel so bad for Casey. Like, Casey got gypped in this challenge. Like, did she do what she did? Yes. Can she blame anyone else on that design? No. Did it have potential? Yes. Did she run out of time? Yes. Did we all run out of time? Yes. That little like lapel, like if she would have like either, because it was supposed to be a full collar. So she was left with just the flaps, which left like this weird thing.
Yeah.
And so if she would have either like tucked it or, you know, pinned it up some kind of way or something, I think it would have felt completely different. But seeing that is what threw everybody off, you know? But when you look at her stuff, like, I don't know if you checked out her page at all.
Oh, yeah, she's amazing.
She makes incredible stuff, you know, like her things are incredible. And I think Meg's design, that, and not because of anything, you know, leading up to it, but just like looking at everyone on that team, I thought Meg's design was the worst, in my opinion.
I agree.
Second challenge, no one went home. Meg went home, but she should have went home. Third challenge, no, I don't really think Kenneth should have gone home. I think it could have been someone else. I don't think that Kenneth nor I really deserve to be in the bottom, honestly.
I didn't think so either.
Yeah, I don't think that neither of us deserve to be in the bottom. And not because I love him, but I thought the design, like, it at least had like a very clear vision. Like, it looked ghostly.
It had the haunt to it.
It was haunting. Like, it literally, watching it go down the runway, because we're watching it like this, you know, you guys are watching it like straight on, but we're watching it, you know, come down. And it literally looked like she was like floating on the runway. It looked like a ghost. And it took, I'm catching like goosebumps actually thinking about it, because it took my breath away, honestly. Like, I thought it was really haunting. I thought it was chic. Was it made to perfection? No. But what is in this competition?
With the time limit, I mean, it's not even a full 24 hours. It's like 8 hours that you have for a day.
Somewhere in like the range of like 8 to 15-ish, you know, depending for the full challenge. 12 to, depending on the challenge, the day, what's happening. Like, some hours are, you know, changed up in different places, but it's hard. Like, you can't, and then you go home and then you come back to the workroom and you're like, wait, what was I doing? And how was I doing it? You know, so like, it feels like a whole new day. I mean, it is a whole new day, but a whole new like challenge as well. But yeah, I agree with some things. Last challenge, who went home? Sabrina went home. I feel that, you know, I feel like it was going to be between her and Katie. And honestly, I really love Katie's stuff. Like, I really love Katie's stuff. Did she get to, has she gotten to like display to this point? Like, not really. I think the first episode, she really like, I love that dress that Dee Dee came out in. Like, it was incredible. But yeah, she hasn't really gotten a chance to like fully display her talents yet. So I'm glad that she's staying. I think she's like a new kind of Betsy Johnson, you know, that kind of weird shit that nobody really understands.
I was trying to think who she reminded me of.
Yeah, it's very Betsy Johnson. Like, is Betsy Johnson's more developed in a certain way? Yes. But is Katie's? Yes, but it's just not the same customer. It's like a Betsy Johnson. It's not the same, like, you know, it's not the same customer though. But I do think that with time and like, you know, after now she's home, like thinking about stuff. So I'm sure like, you know, she's seeing all these things that are just like sparking her interest, and we message each other back and forth with different things.
And isn't she in Japan, right?
Yeah, she lives in Japan.
So they're very colorful over there.
Yeah.
And they love that.
Yeah,
kind
and honestly, like, what, I don't know if many people know this, but Katie, out of all of us put together, sells the most stuff out of anyone. Katie has been like doing prints and art for the longest period of time, and so she literally sells more than anyone. Like, she puts stuff up on Amazon or up on her site, and it goes in no time. So like, people are laughing at Katie, but she's laughing to the bank. So it's,
right? And his other question, now I don't know if you can answer this in a perspective of you. He says, besides yourself, which 3 designers do you see going to the finale? Like, who would you choose if you could choose?
If I could choose, I would say, this is hard because I already know.
I get it. You're friends too, and you love them all as equals.
Yeah, like, I really love Christina's stuff. Like, from the moment she hit the runway, I was like, girl, this is it. Like, I love it. I would kind of be interested to see actually not kind of. I would love to see what Anna would do at a finale, like what she would do with time and like just time, because that's really what all of us need.
Yeah.
And I would kind of like to see Chastity too. Like I feel like she has like a, I don't know, like a fresh way of doing beading, and like it's young. It makes it feel young. It doesn't feel like older and like old woman. It feels like a new kind of couture, you know?
Yeah.
But then also like I would love to see Octavio because like I love his stuff. Like I love his like puffers. I love his take on like streetwear. I haven't really seen, well, I have seen other people do things like it, but I think it's like a little bit of a knockoff because Octavio's also been around for a while.
He has.
So I would love to see what he would do with like time and like this kind of budget and, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, those would be my 4.
When I did episode 1, I had to pick 4 from Just Who I Thought from episode 1. I picked you, I picked Katie, Prajay, Chantel. Those were the 4 that I picked. Now, mid-season, I'm going to change it up a little bit because that was my rule that I made for myself. But I love what Aaron does.
Do you know if does anybody have bets on this? Like, I've been wondering if there's any bets going around, because I've heard like some people when we like started the show, production wise, they were like, yeah, we got our money on this person or this person.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I haven't heard it, but if I find out, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'm like, I wonder if there's like a Project Runway, like, you know, bet going around, like who's gonna win.
I'll have to check the Reddit. There's a Project Runway Reddit group, and they might have some bets going on there. I'll have to check that out.
I'm sure there's gonna be. I'm sure there has to be one out there. There has to be one. Yeah. Oh my God. Could you imagine me like playing anonymously?
Oh my God.
That would be right. That would be. Don't send me the link. Don't send me the link. Don't send me the link. I'd be too tempted to make money.
I'll just screenshot it then. Then you'll have to find it from there.
Right. I'll have to do the manual typing myself.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's been wonderful. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask me, or anything you'd like to say? Promote any of that?
I mean, I guess for you, like, what's your experience in fashion, or like what draws you to the show? What draws you to fashion? What makes you like, you know, want to buy people's stuff, which I'm so appreciative. Like, thank you so much. You were the first purchase, like the very first purchase.
That made me so happy. And I saw 1001. I'm thinking, was I the first one?
You were the first one. You were the very first one to purchase the sweatshirt. So I appreciate it so much. And it was such like on a whim. So yeah, I appreciate it. But the question for you, what draws you to fashion? What makes you interested in what people are making? What makes you want to buy what people are making? And, you know, that kind of thing.
I'm an artsy person myself. I do a lot of DIY projects. I make my own stuff. I have a sewing machine. I make stuff too. I bought in from Jenny Rachi, who was in 15. And I just love, she does like the tie-dye. I tie-dye my own stuff. I do a lot of tie-dyeing stuff. I just love the art behind the fashion.
Gotcha.
And that's what draws me in. And I just like the competition, but I love to see what everyone's making because everyone is so different.
Yeah.
And you get to see a whole different perspective than when you go on Instagram and you see all their stuff on Instagram. It's like, like at first I didn't like Katie, but then I saw Katie's Instagram. I'm like, wow, she has amazing stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just the art in me, that art eye, and doing things myself kind of thing.
Yeah. It's something about I can feel that because it's something about when you know what it takes to like make something come to life or from the paper into like 3D form. You're like, wow. Then I can really appreciate the tangible of other artists as well, and I mean, well, the mental of other artists as well, but really that tangible thing, like it takes a lot to be able to like practice your craft enough to get to you know, like a certain point of saying, hey, I'm gonna sell this or I want to give this to the world. And one thing I will say on that note to each designer that was a part of this season, any other season or seasons to come, like, it's just literally knowing that you make it there from what you do with your hands and from your heart, you know? So like, no matter when you go home, you know, how much you sell, like all that stuff, like literally, like we've made it to this point, and that's a very vulnerable space. It's a really, really vulnerable space. So even me encountering like the cyber, you know, world and what people say, like I love the comments. Like people are always like, stay out of the comments, but I love the comments. I think they're funny. I think they're hilarious. I think it's funny again to see like what people just come up with. Like there was one meme I reposted of someone's take on Aaron's floral challenge, and they put like the potting mix next to it, and like when you see it side by side, you're like, oh my God, like what? Like how did somebody even think about this? Or like someone was like, I look like Bret Michaels when I had like the long hair and stuff. I'm like how did people just like come up with all this stuff? So yeah, it's an interesting space to be able to like give yourself to the world and say, you know, judge me on this, or like take at it as you must. So yeah, just any person who is selling things or gets on Project Runway or wants to be on Project Runway, like really know and be secure in that spot too, that like you're ready to give yourself to the world in that way, because it really is, it's a surrender. There is no fighting the internet. Like,
even doing YouTube, I get one, you know, people that don't like me, people that like me, people that make up lies. It's the internet is crazy.
It's wild.
So you have to be ready for it.
The only person who can beat out the internet is Beyonce. That is the only person that can beat the internet. She's the only one who can beat the internet. She's the only one. That video from her falling down the stairs, I dare you to try and find it. I dare you.
Oh my God. Beyonce is just gold, and I can't believe you danced with her too.
Yeah, it was only two. It was only two performances, but honestly, that was
Beyonce.
That was my dream. That was my goal. I was like, I just want to hit the stage with her and see what it feels like. I saw what it felt like. It was incredible. She's incredible. The team is phenomenal, and it's a crazy experience. But yeah, I got my 2 times in, and then I was like, all right.
What song did you dance to?
We were in Haunted and Ghost, like that section from I don't know if you've seen the Made in America concert.
Yes.
With the like the boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was that concert with the like leaning boxes, and Beyonce fell into my arms.
Oh my God.
I had blonde hair at that point, so I'm the only blonde hair guy, so
I'll have to YouTube it and see if I can.
You might have to like squint to find me real quick, but you'll see me. You'll see me.
I'll zoom it up.
Zoom it out.
And I know you are selling some of your designs, right? So you can check that out on your Instagram, right?
Yeah, everything is, the actual website is not like, I cannot think about the real website right now. Just like, let's just go straight to Shopify for a second.
Yeah.
So everything is on the link in my bio on the Shopify. Right now there is the sweater that Miss Sunshine herself is wearing. And you can get the Couture or Courttrash shirt, as well as the gold dress from the first challenge, the one that I wore. And there'll be some other things that are coming. People are really asking for this this like gold mesh tank gold mesh shirt that I have from like while ago. So I'm like, I guess it's time to like redo this now because people want it. So
yeah, and the link is in the description for everybody on the replay. His Instagram, his Shopify, the link to just this, the link to the actual store, and both of your Instagrams actually. So
thank you.
No problem.
I didn't even realize that there was like a chat here. I just
yeah. I have a lot of replay people that watch the Project Runway, so I know they'll be happy to see you because they were all excited that
Well, I'm
I was
happy to
going to
see
have
y'all
you.
too.
I know. I'm so happy that you said you'd come on.
Yeah.
That Saturday when I went on IG, I was like just waking up, looking like a hot fucking mess, and I was like, should I go on? Should I go? And then when he said, "Oh well, she's doing her hair," I'm like, "All right, I gotta go on now."
Yeah, it's always fun on those Saturdays too. Sometimes I'm just waking up too, so I'm like thanking God for the ring light. And I'm like,
right?
It's perfect.
Oh, we have a question. What are your plans going forward?
So actually right now I'm going through not a weird time, but an interesting time in my life. Before going on to the show, actually, I had injured my left knee practicing pole tricks, and they wanted to do a surgery because they saw like a meniscus and an ACL injury as well that happened like maybe when I was like 10 years old, and my body's just like recovered from it. So they wanted to actually do a surgery on my left knee like back like 3 weeks before we started filming actually, and I was like, there's no way I'm doing this right now. So I went through the season, you know, kind of compensating with the right knee. So I actually had to get a surgery on my right knee back in September.
I saw those pictures.
So so like that has been recovering and like getting better and healing, and it's actually doing really well. But the left knee, I now have to get a surgery on in December. So I'm getting an ACL surgery. It's a little bit more extensive than a meniscus. I keep saying they have to drill just because like it drills it in my head as well that like you're about to go through this process.
My mom had an ACL. She was down for quite a while, so.
Yeah, and you know, that's also why I'm doing it too. I don't know how old your mom was when she got her surgery done, but you know, I'm 30 years
like
old.
40s.
Yeah, so I'm 30 years old. I'm in really great shape, and you know, I don't want to just wait until the last minute or until like I really need it, and you know, something's like really crazy, because that's kind of what happened with the right knee. Like it just like locked up one night, and it was like emergency surgery.
Ooh.
So I'm just really excited to like get that going and like have that done. So these next couple of months are going to be a lot of recovery and just like, you know, resting, but also still doing stuff. Yeah,
machine right there.
Actually, that's the nice part about it is I'm sewing with my right foot, so the left leg can be like propped up, and I can be on the machine, you know. So I'll still be doing some things, and like I'll have a team that's like working on some things as well. But yeah, it's gonna be a quiet, like, you know, January-ish, February-ish, but hopefully by like after Fashion Week, I kind of do my own thing when it comes to like showing stuff for Fashion Week as well. Like I'm never on schedule with Fashion Week. I'm always like, all right, let's do it 2 weeks later than everybody else.
Right.
So yeah, we'll see what happens with that, but recovery's first. And so that'll be like
they said speedy recovery. I've had the knee surgeries, both meniscus and ACL. Take it easy and don't make the mistake I did and not do the physical therapy / exercises after.
Yeah. I'm you know, so with the right knee, I actually had my checkup, my 6-week checkup was like 2 weeks ago, and the doctor was like, he was really impressed because he was like, your knee has only been recovering for 6 weeks, and it looks like it's been recovering for like 6 months. Wow. So I was really happy to hear that, and like it made me even more hopeful to get the left knee done. So he gave me clearance to go back to the gym and like just work it out. So I've been doing that again and just getting my body conditioned to a place where like I can come back down from as I'm recovering. So thank you so much. I appreciate your wishes, and I'm sorry you had to have your ACL meniscus done too, but I'm thankful that you got through it.
Right, yeah.
Because now that I know what it's like on one side, I'm like, it's tough. It's tough to be out of commission. So thank you so much.
Well, we wish you the best. And like I said, all of his links are in the description, so check him out. And thank you so much for coming on,
Of
honey.
course. Thank you for having me.
I'm still so excited that I had you on.
I appreciate it.
And you know I'll be watching the IG, and I'm still rooting for you, honey.
You're
my number one. You're my number one. I told you that. I wasn't lying.
I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Well, hopefully I stay around so I'm not disappointed.
Hey, even if something happens, you're still my number one. So you're still
I
my
appreciate
number
that
one.
so much. Thank you.
No
And
problem.
I'm gonna now I have to make this this floral thing just for you. I'm literally gonna do that just so
I'll be buying it. Oh, you know I will. And don't you have your IG? It's Saturday at 2, right? That you do IG lives.
Yeah, actually we go on Saturdays at 12, but last weekend we went with 2 o'clock because Anna was like, I can't wake up that early for 12 o'clock. So I was like, yeah, let's change it to 2
So
o'clock.
it's 12.
But
awesome.
Yeah, this week we'll be back at 12 o'clock.
So everyone check him out on IG at 12 on Saturday Eastern Standard Time, that is.
Yes.
So thank you again for coming, and
of course.
see you on IG.
Thank you for having me. And, I'll see you around.
Bye, honey.
Bye.